All right. That's going. So that way anybody who isn't able to join can at least watch it later, or if they're super busy or something, they can check it out later and not have to be on at the time that we're doing it. So that's my first thing. I want to apologize that I feel we're running a little late and getting things going, but I will totally blame that on the cookie season being extended. Because I really was like, oh, as soon as cookies is over, we can really get going. And then they went 2 more weeks, and I'm like, what happened to time? So we will get there, have patience, and we're working through getting everything done. So it'll happen. Don't worry about it. So tonight's focus is kind of on registration, because that's kind of what we're all in the midst of right now. So the first thing is before we get started, I am going to attempt to launch a poll. And I don't think that Jen Ellis knows what this poll is going to be, but I am going to launch a poll for us to take. And you can read and take a second here in there to see what the poll is. Oh, well, so far one vote. Jen's like, I'm reading very carefully.
I'll vote because it doesn't probably affect me.
No, it doesn't. Not really. But you can vote. Okay, well, it's pretty much a yes, which I kind of figured it would be, but I thought I would at least put the question out there. So I will go into how we're going to handle that here in a minute, because I've been like, oh, I've had a lot of requests for it. We did allow adults to participate last time, and so we are, then it appears you guys are all voting that we will do that again. It will be limited to, there are some events that are limited by capacity, and we want to make sure girls get in before adults. So in those cases, we will have the girls have first, and then if there's, we will have adults that are in ratio going that we have to have so many in ratio, and then beyond that we can open that up for adults to attend to. The one I'm probably the most thinking that we may not is the whitewater rafting, because you're limited to how many people fit in the boat, and we have X amount of boats. So that's one that we'll probably have to really limit that one. But like if your girls are all going to the high ropes.
Uh-oh, she froze. Come on, Nancy, catch up. I'll text her. She probably doesn't even know. She's probably having a full-on conversation with herself.
It's easy to do with these things.
Nope. Now we can't hear you, Nancy. Nope.
Can you see her?
I can see her, and
Yeah.
she's talking. But I can't hear her.
I can't see her or hear her.
Oh, she's rebooting herself. It looks like she's gonna jump out and then jump back in.
Yep, I jumped out. I'm
There you
back.
are. Now you're
Am I
back. Now
better?
we can hear you.
Okay. Yay! Technology. I'm back on Wi-Fi too.
Oh, good.
Yay! That's probably what froze me. Okay.
Oh, you're probably right. It was when it kicked back on to
When it
Wi-Fi.
kicked back on, it was like, what are you
Yep.
doing? Yeah. So we will get something out either Saturday or Sunday. I'm hoping to have it done by Saturday, and for the adults, and it will be a separate registration, nothing to do with what we're doing right now, because I don't want to mess any of that up that's already being done. So it'll be a separate. Here you go. I do ask that, of course, that you at least have your girls supervised. So if all of your girls are going to CSI, you don't get to go shoot guns. It's just like, you know, and so it's just going to be one of those that we just ask you to go with your girls and participate in the activity that they are doing. So we'll get that out for this weekend. Okay, so most people have completed the intent to attend. I will say that there are a few groups that are still in the process of getting that done. So, but we're working on them. So that is pretty much completed. The participants is really where we're focused right now, is getting all of your girls and your adults registered and us connecting them to the right group that's going to Jubilation. So about every 3 days or 2 to 3 days, I get a list from council that from the GS events of who's attending. And they go through and they manipulate a lot of data. They send it to me. I have to manipulate it a little more. And then I upload it every few days into our system, and then try to link everybody to an existing troop. So when you go in and do your final registration and your final payment, before you hit final payment, make sure all your girls are there, all your adults are there, their t-shirt sizes are correct, and their program level that they want to do is correct. There was a mishap at the beginning where girls could select multiple activities. So they are having to go back and call all of them and say, okay, you can't do all three. Which one are you going to do? And then we're updating those. So we're getting through those. But the other thing that I would have to say is that if somebody's missing from your group, let us know. And if they're already in the system, I have probably about 30 girls and adults that have registered in GS events that I don't have linked to a troop going. So it may be that I just don't know that they're going with your troop. I just need to link them up. So if you have people in your list that are missing, or somebody that you don't even know who they are, like, we're not paying for them to go, just send us an email at that info@jubilation-ssc.org. And we're pretty fast. We do have 2 people now monitoring the mailbox. So like during the day, both of us work, but if it's in between meetings and it pops up on my phone, then I can usually take care of it pretty fast. But give us a day and we'll get back to you pretty quickly and say, hey, we've updated everything, go take a look now. It's pretty instant. As soon as we update it, you'll see those changes in your listing. So so the participants also, once you do the GS events and you sign up for Jubilation, every adult and girl will get an email from CampDoc to go in and fill out your CampDoc, which is your health history only this year. We have used CampDoc before, and we used it for both registration and health history. We're only doing the health history piece of it, and that is so our nurse on site doesn't have to have 600 or 800 pieces of paper with health history. Yes, Kaylin.
Okay, so if I've already done the CampDoc for my kiddo with all the other camps that she's doing, Does that transfer over, or do I have to do it again?
It should be in there. You should only have to do it
God.
once.
Okay, because doing the vaccinations was a pain in the butt.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, okay, when we did it, we took all of that out and we just said, are you are you current in it? And when was your last tetanus? Because that's all we cared about. and
Yeah, it was a
they ask
whole list.
everything. It's like a whole list. And it's like,
I had to
it's a
actually call
lot.
the pediatrician. I'm like,
I
some of
know.
these are missing on my record, so what does she have?
Yeah. It was, I did mine too, and I was like, oh my gosh. Do you really care what year and date I had my first polio vaccine in 1962? Really? Like that matters. It's, so I was like, oh yeah, I will suggest them next year that they cut that back a little. But
And I
yeah,
will say that has to be, it
it may
is
be a
new this
requirement
year.
for the ACA or some, I don't know. Yeah,
But the CampDoc
because
is
they're an
new for this
accredited
year.
camp.
So if you previously did CampDoc,
It is brand new for council.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you previously did CampDoc, it is not uploading from your previous one.
No, it
So
will not. Yeah.
I
It
just
will
did
not
Chloe's like 2
upload.
days ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, and then if you don't do it, they will send a reminder that you
multiple
haven't done it.
times.
So multiple times. They are good at reminding you you have something left to fill out. So just watch for
Okay.
that, and you might let your parents know that it'll go to the whoever their email is in GS events, like the parent email will get that CampDoc, and they need to just go out, fill it in. It's not hard. It is kind of hard if you have to locate all your records like I had to do. But,
It kept like reading the stuff we put in, and I had to keep retyping it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It'll work. We'll get through it, really. So
Okay, and then
fill
so
that out. I just wanted to do a reminder on that.
so I just got all my adults and girls with the my GSU events registered today. So I should be getting a CampDoc for me sometime.
Yes.
Okay.
It was
I just have-
about
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours before I
Yeah.
got mine.
It took it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah. 24,
And it was
48
overnight.
hours.
So it was like they did a big dump overnight one night.
Yeah.
The adults 24 to 48 hours. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So get those in. We have a little time, but you might as well get on those parents right away.
I have serious stragglers, so I'm like, let's go.
I know. I do too. It's the worst. I have like 8 girls that haven't registered yet. I'm like, seriously, can you not just go in and fill it out? It's not hard. I'm with you.
I'm doing
I
it
have
for them
staff,
because I'm like, okay,
staff that hasn't filled it out.
now the other part you have to do.
I know. Yeah. Yep. I get it. Okay. So CampDoc. Oh, so your final. I don't know if any of you have been in to look at your final registration and group payment, all of that good stuff that's in the final one that you got. But that is where you're going to pretty much fill out your intent to travel. So that is uploading your driver's license, your car insurance, your first aid cards, and letting us know what time you think you're going to be arriving, just so we know at the gate about the traffic level of what we're going to be getting in the next hour or so. Then
Where
it also says, like, do you want to camp next to a troop that you like? Or, let us know who that troop is and we'll try to get you near them. We ask a lot of I've been trying to think of what else is on there. It went totally blank here. Let's see, the car. The main part then is to get into the registered girls and just double checking all of those to make sure we have them all listed correctly, and that everything is correct on there. And then once it's correct, you're done. You can go through to the payment on PayPal and just enter a card number or however you're going to do that. When you do the girls, when you start selecting them, you can put in how much cookie money or the program credits they're going to use per girl. Most of the service units are getting theirs today and over the next few days are available to pick up program credits and like the awards and stuff. So start looking for those. If they're going to be using them, start entering those. So at the end here, when you hit submit, you're going to be completely done and good to go. Okay. Then the next thing is I sent out an email to everyone on the Jubilation app, and that is kind of just of our space. It's going to have schedules out there during the event, and it's also going to have, I've put some out there, but tonight I should have more information on some of the finalized program. So we can start putting all of that information out there, and you can go out and kind of look and see what we're doing. There is a map of the fairgrounds that we're going to be at this year, and kind of shows at least the general area of where we're at. And so, but we'll be building on that. And then that's a great space for you guys to ask questions. We'll have probably 6 or 7 people watching that and answering questions, and then other leaders that know the answer can pipe up, and we're happy for them to go in and say, this is what you do, or and it's just a place that you're going to get information that's secluded to just to us. So you can post pictures of your troop meetings, doing activities or whatever you want to do, a group photo, or you can just it's just a nice place for us to get in there and meet each other before we get to the event. So any questions so far? Yes.
So what are the extras for brownies this year? Since there wasn't anything
Brownies,
paid for brownies.
nothing is paid for brownies or juniors, nothing extra. Everything that they're doing is included in their price. The daisies and brownies will stay on site. I will say that the juniors will be going off site, but there will be no extra charge for that activity. They're going to be going to the pool and doing something
Okay.
there.
I
So
have 3 juniors.
yeah. So they will be they are considered on site, but we will bus them to the pool for an activity. The next thing that I had to discuss program wise is that I've had a lot of requests from the older girls. The activities that the older, like the senior ambassadors, were shooting guns, going to CSI and doing the high ropes, and then whitewater rafting, where we have some girls that are not very, that are not adventurous like that. So they are either going to stay on site, or they can, if you email me and say, hey, they signed up for this one, but they are not very adventuresome, and so can they please go to the ice cave tour? And we will move those into that. So because we know those 3 that we have for the older girls are very adventuresome ones, and we have some girls that are not as adventurous as others. So just let us know in that older girl program. We will move them down. I don't particularly want to move them up, but we will move them down a level if they are not as adventurous as we thought that they would be. So just let us know, send us an email. We will update the program activity, and then you'll see it on your listing that they changed to a different activity.
And Nancy, I have a couple more ideas to throw at that we can talk about later.
Okay, perfect. I know, and one of the other things, if they don't want to go off site, is that the juniors are doing I call it a paint and sip, but they're not sipping anything but water, but they're going to be doing a directive painting, and they can stay on site and do that activity. So those are their options. So, and the cadets, if the cadets didn't want to go off site, they could do that too. So, any other questions so far? Nothing? Nothing? Are there
Hi.
any? I haven't looked at the chat to see if there was
I
anything.
put
There was
one.
something. Okay. Oh, yes, our leader from Elko. How are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry for the noise background, but it's opening ceremonies for softball season here.
Ooh.
So I went to define a registration and I did all the paperwork, uploaded all this stuff, went to pay, and it either said save or go back. So
If it was earlier today, there was an issue with PayPal, but it has been corrected. So try it this evening. And if it doesn't work, will you just send me a quick email and I can
yes,
let
I
you
can.
know what's going on. But there was an issue with PayPal this morning, and we went out, got it fixed, and it should be back up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you lose track and you can't find your link to go back in and continue, send us an email and we will send you that. We can send it to you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, I will let you guys go. And if you have questions, please email or get on the app and ask them, and we'll get you taken care of. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Have to stop the recording.